Hmm. Yeah. Not the bell. It was Zoom.
Oh, it was in the Zoom?
Yeah.
You logged in already?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, it was Zoom.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Jones.
How are you all doing?
Good.
All right, let's go ahead and get started since we're already a minute past. I'm just going to go ahead and start. I'm tired of waiting for people. So let's go ahead and look at lesson number 127. Add subtracting fractions, part 2. Next here. Let me get that number here, hold on. What did I do with that stuff? There it is. Here comes Alina. All right. All right, so let's go ahead. Turn this down. All right, so we are looking at this particular lesson about adding fractions. This is part 2. Now, part 1, what is the rule that we always have to do in order to add fractions? What's one rule we always have to add or subtract fractions?
To align the numerator and denominator?
How do you align a numerator and denominator in a fraction?
No, like,
You're thinking decimals.
no, like sideways.
No, aligning them makes no difference. I can do it like this. Just as easily as I can do it sideways. Makes no difference. They're lined up that way. Okay. So that's not it. So what is it that you have to have in order to add and subtract fractions? Somebody should know. Come on, guys. This is something we've been covering almost all year. What do you have to have in order to add and subtract fractions?
Common denominator.
Common denominator, very good. So in this second part, what they're getting you to learn is how to change a denominator so that they are the same. And remember when we did the lowest common multiple? Remember when we just did that, the lowest common multiple? Go back to, let's see what lesson that was in. It wasn't too long ago we did it. because I remember when we were doing it, some of you were having difficulty realizing what you're supposed to do with it. Lowest common multiple. Yeah, so in 122, lesson 122, go ahead and look there. So lesson 122, least common multiples, or the finding the least common multiple of two numbers. And if you look at the example they give you, they have 6 and 8 as your two fractions. And they have you finding what is the least common multiple of the two. Okay? Make sense? All right, so now what we're doing then is we're putting that into action with a fraction. Poet and didn't know it. All right.
Yeah.
So what is the least common multiple then of 2 and 4, which are your two denominators you have to make the same? Pretty easy one to figure out, but what are the two, what is the least common denominator or the least common multiple of those two bottom numbers?
2.
How do you make a 4 or 2 when it's only 1/4?
Oh,
So you would have the
1.
2 to the 4, so this would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This would be 4, 8, 12, and you see we're already the lowest common denominator or lowest common multiple is a 4. All right, does everybody see that? Any questions about what I just did? Because now's a good time to ask it if you don't understand. All right, everybody's good? No questions? All right. Elizabeth, can you turn your camera on? Or if you can't, I know sometimes the phones and things go out. All right, so then let's go ahead and look at, all right, this one that we have. So we know that 4 is our least common multiple. So I have to change my 1/2 so that it's equal to the same thing in fourths. So in other words, how many fourths equals 1/2? Well, I can multiply any number. If I multiply 2 times 1, what's my answer?
2.
Okay, if I multiply 11 times 1, what's my answer?
11.
Anytime you multiply a number by 1, Ella, do you talk the one for today or yesterday?
Yesterday.
We're on today, so let's do this first, and I'll go back and explain yesterday. So any number you multiply by 1 is going to be the same answer. Amy is happy. Can you put your microphone for a moment? You're making a lot of noise there with your stuff moving around. Same thing, Nathan, if you could too. Or I can just mute you. Okay. All right. So, so we're going to take this 1/2 and we're going to multiply it by 1, but I'm going to multiply it by a number that's equal to 1. That's a fraction. That would make it so that my bottom denominator is a 4. So what do I multiply 2 by to make it a 4?
2.
Yeah, so 2. So I'm going to multiply that, or we'll put an X there so you don't get confused, by 2. But in order to multiply it by the whole thing by a number 1, I have to make that top number the same thing. 2 over 2 is equal to 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm multiplying it by a fraction that's going to change my bottom number into a 4. It'll also change my top number. What happened here? All right. Must have accidentally hit something. So it's going to change my top number into a 2. Now, you all know 2/4 is equal to 1/2. When you've reduced fractions, you've known that that's the case. All right. And so you can see it's the same amount. It just looks different. Okay. And so that's the idea, is that we're changing this into the same amount, but it looks different. So now I can take this original problem and I'm going to write over here, instead of 1/2 though, I'm going to make that now 2/4 so that I can match my original fraction, or my lowest common multiple, my lowest common denominator. So now 2/4 plus 1/4, now I have a common denominator. All right, and my answer is going to be 3/4. Remember, the bottom stays the same when you're adding and subtracting fractions. And so I'm adding the top part. It'll be like this. Originally, I had 1/2, I had 1/4, and I had 1/2, okay? So what I did was I divided this into fourths, and now how many fourths do I have? How many fourths do I have now? No, just for this part, I mean, just for that part. That became halves to fourths, and that became 2/4. Now all together, you can see I have 1 here, 2 here, and 3/4 all together. So you can see in a picture, it works the same way. But mathematically, all I need to do is the one fraction I have a common denominator. Then once I have that common denominator, I am good as far as making sure I have enough, I have a common denominator so I can put it together. All right. Any questions on this particular lesson? All right. Nazar, are you there? Nazar? Well, I don't see a camera. It looks like it says it's not on right now. All right, so let's do this. Let's clear this, and let's give you a practice one. All right, so 1/3 plus 2/9. Okay, so find your common denominator or your lowest common multiple, which is the same thing. Please don't draw in my board. Thank you. Can't see that, I'll rewrite it in green, which is my favorite color anyway. All right, so I have 1/3 plus 2/9. That would be wrong, David. You can't just change 1/3 into 1/9. It's not the same. They're not the same amount. Got to multiply it by a number that's 1, that's a fraction, so that you change your bottom number into a 9. So that means you got to multiply that top number by the same thing. You did the exact same. Why are you multiplying, Yuri? I mean, you got, yeah, all you did was the first part. You've got to add them together now. So you did the first fraction, you changed the first fraction, but you got to add them together. No, that's not right, Nathan. I don't know how you got 1/4 on that. Show your work so that I can see what you're doing and I can help you out. Yes, David. That is correct. You see what you had done, though, originally. You changed the bottom number, but you didn't change the top. That's correct, Alina. Bless you, whoever that was. Correct, Tejas?
Yes.
Incorrect. Yeah, so you have 1/3 plus 2/9. Hey, Nathan, the first rule I had mentioned, Elijah, you're correct. The first rule I had mentioned was you have to have what in order to add fractions? You can't just add the numbers on the bottom together. Doesn't really work that way. Hold a little closer, Elizabeth. Is that a 5 on top?
Yes.
Okay, you're correct then. That is correct, Yuri. Ella, I can't see you, and Angelica, I can't see you.
I'm still
Correct,
solving.
Schlock. What's that?
I'm still doing it.
Oh, that's fine. Okay. Same.
I
Doesn't mean you're good
said
now. What was that?
I set it to
Oh,
you.
you did? Okay. I'll look. Can get it? Okay. That is correct, Angelica. All right. And then Nathan, you got it now? And was there anybody? Joselle, what have you gotten? And Ella, I haven't seen yours yet.
I'm still doing it.
Okay, so which fraction are you going to change? What's your common denominator? That's correct, Ella. What's your common denominator?
2 9.
No, that's not a denominator, ma'am. What is your common denominator? What number is the common number? Did you do your see you have the 3 and you have the 9. And do multiples of those, and you have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and then here you have 9, and there you already have your common multiple, common denominator. Okay? All right, so you see 2 ninths is already in ninths. You have to make the 1/3 into ninths. All right, so what do you have to make the 1/3? What do you have to multiply the 3 by to get it to be a 9?
3.
Okay, so my 1/3 times 3 on the bottom, and I have to multiply it by the same on the top. So that 1/3 becomes,
3 9.
okay, so now you take your 3 ninths and you add it to 2 ninths.
5 9.
Okay, yep, that's correct. All right, so, all right, let me give you another one. All right, do that one right there. Find your common denominator first. That is not correct, David. You need to do the work. You're doing it in your head. It's not working very well. That is correct, Nathan. So Giselle, what'd you figure out? That's incorrect still, David. Still doing it in your head, huh? Incorrect, Elizabeth. You don't have paper to work with there, David? Whiteboard or anything like that? That's incorrect, Giselle. How did you get 8 as a common denominator? How does 6 become an 8? Incorrect, Elizabeth. Alina, you got it. You got to reduce, Ella. Got it, Angelica. Correct, Elijah. Correct, Ella. I know what you did, Giselle. You just added the 6 and the 2. You can't do that. You have to have the same denominator. Like we just did before. Elizabeth, you got it? Okay. So Giselle, what's the common denominator there? What's that?
1 6.
That's not a denominator, ma'am. Denominator is one number. These are your denominators. Oops, sorry. Accidentally erased it. That's a denominator. That's a denominator. Those are your denominators. You've got to find out what would the common denominator be. What's the lowest common multiple? You have the 2 and the 6. You go 2, 4, 6, 8, and then you have 6, 12, and you find out your common denominator is 6. Okay? This one's already a 6. So you got to make this one a 6 by multiplying by what?
3.
Okay. So then if I multiply that one by 3, what is the top number when I multiply it by 3?
6.
So 3 6 is what that 1/2 becomes. Okay. Now I can add it to my 1 6, and that equals 4 6. Okay, because I add it to my 1 6 that I have here. And so now it becomes 4 6. And I can reduce 4 6 to 2/3. Okay, you have to have the same denominator to add and subtract fractions. Okay, Giselle? Because you seem to keep forgetting that the next time we do another problem. Are you ready for another one then? I'm going to test you. So you gotta pay attention closely. All right, here we go, everybody. One more. All right. All right, go ahead and do that one. 1/2 plus 1/8. Got it, David. Good job. You got it, Nathan. Correct, Elijah. Correct, Tejas. Correct, Yuri. Not correct, Elizabeth. You didn't change the 1/2 properly. Not correct, Angelica. Who wrote that up there? Who wrote that in blue? Oh, why? Didn't you already show me the answer? Oh, okay. So Giselle, you're having problems again, aren't you? I can see it. What do you have to have first? That's good, Alina.
The denominator.
What kind of a denominator? What kind of a denominator, Giselle? An denominator?
No.
What kind of a denominator? Correct, Elizabeth. What has to be true about the denominators, Giselle?
They have to be the same.
That's correct. So what do we call that when they're the same? Starts with a C, ends with an almond. Come on, girl, put it together. Are you even listening to what I'm teaching when I'm teaching it, or is there something you're not understanding?
I am listening.
Okay, so what is it you're not getting? I don't understand why you're missing it, because every time we go through it, then when I go through it step by step, you get it, but then you have a hard time when you're trying to do it on your own. You know?
No.
Okay. All right, well, I'll talk with you afterward, and I'll try to go through it again with you, all right? So, Ella, what was your question about yesterday's lesson? You have to turn your microphone on, Ella.
I didn't like get how to do it because like on the lesson when those questions popped up, I didn't like understand how to do them.
You were here for the lesson when I taught it, right?
Yeah.
So what part, which number were you having a hard time with? Particularly? Like
I
2?
think- let me check.
There was only one.
Yeah,
question.
number 1.
Number 1?
Yeah.
Okay. We even actually did something similar to that yesterday. All right. So how many, please stop drawing on my board. People are doing that. Is that you, Ella? I mean, Giselle?
No.
Who's doing that? Who's putting the arrows on there? Please stop doing that. All right. So, all right, Ella. Probability is in a fraction form. Do you know how to do probability?
Mm-hmm.
You do or do you don't?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the probability of rolling a 6 with a single toss of 1 number cube? How many 6s are on a number cube?
6.
There are 6 6s, huh? So all the sides say 6?
1.
Right, okay. So what part is it you're not understanding? Is it just the English or is it the math part?
The math part.
So you know how to make, for instance, if I said on a number cube, what's the probability of rolling a 3 or a 4? What would you say? Kiss him again. And then smack him. So Ella, how many 3s and 4s are there on a number cube?
1 of each.
Which means a total of?
2.
Okay, so there are 2 out of how many total possibilities?
6.
And there's your probability. Okay? Then you got to take that fraction and multiply by 100% your chance. What the chance is. Okay? So on that one, it's 1 out of 6 for your probability. So to do that, you have to multiply by 100%. So you would get 1 out of 6 times 100% over 1, which equals 100% over 6, which you take your 100%, you divide it by 6, 6 goes into 10 one time. Subtract, you have 40, 6 goes into 46 times, that's 36, with a remainder of 4. So it's 16 and 4/6%, but you can reduce that 4/6 to 2/3, and there's your there's your chance for it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that's what you do each time. Yes, Nathan.
Is it possible to change the 2/3 on the 16%? Is it possible to change it to a decimal? Like,
Well, if you do that, here's the problem. If you do 2/3 into a decimal, it goes like this. It'll keep going. It doesn't stop. Now, there is a way when you get into upper math that you'll show it, and it'll be like this with a bar over it. When you put a bar over it on the decimal side, that means it repeats. Okay? And so sometimes it'll be one number, sometimes it can be. So maybe you have 3 numbers that repeat, but whatever part repeats, you put a bar over it, and that all that tells you is that it repeats those same numbers or that same number for the rest of the time. So, all right. That's not something you'll use this year or next year. It's something that you'll probably get into starting in 7th grade for it. All right, let's go to language. Okay, several of you, I still have not gotten the things you're supposed to send to me, in spite of the fact that I told you yesterday to send it to me, and I told you to make sure that you get that done, and yet you didn't do it. So you will lose out on a grade now. and you will start to see it affect your grade for language. Why you guys are having such difficulty, I have no idea. It's not hard to do what I asked you to do. You guys are not, it's not impossible for you to do what I asked you to do. I only got actually, I'll tell you who I have, whose I have. If I can find it here somewhere. I think there were about 3 or 4 altogether, and that was it. I'm looking for the sheets here really quick. Let me see. Schlock had sent me one, and then he sent me a second one. I think that was a good one, right, as far as the notes. But I still haven't gotten an outline from you, Schlock. Nathan gave me both. David, I don't remember what yours. Hold on, I'll look and find it. Oh, here we go. All right. So for the Helen Keller notes, only 3 people actually sent me notes altogether. They were Nathan, Schlock, and Ella, and that was it. Okay, that's all I've gotten notes for. That's it. Yes, Angelica.
I sent you the notes, but it doesn't want to send.
I don't know why, man, because you've never had a problem sending them before.
It's sending, but it's really taking really long.
I just got something from you.
Oh.
So I just received it at 10:30, it says. So just now. But you didn't try to send them yesterday, did you?
No.
Right. So, but that's not, that was supposed to be done yesterday, Angelica. It's not this morning thing. It was supposed to be done yesterday because you're supposed to do an outline today. And yet, many of you have not done it. And so it's just I'm just gonna have to count it as a 0. Yes. Yuri, what?
Yesterday you asked me to send a better picture.
Yes, and you never did.
What?
You never did.
Juliana said she would.
First of all, was it for that or was it for something else, Yuri? Because
Helen Keller notes.
yeah, and so did you send another picture?
Well, I have it right here.
But Yuri, look, you guys don't understand. Okay, stop. Everybody, listen for a minute. Again, this is a repeated thing. Repeat it. You guys have a responsibility to do your work, and you're not doing it. Many of you are just not doing it on time. And I don't know how to get you guys to do it except to penalize you with your grade. This was due on Wednesday, or no, Monday is when we first assigned it. It's Friday. Yuri, don't show it to me now. Listen. Okay? You guys telling me stuff now is not helping. It was due Monday. Only one person had turned it in Monday. David, put your hand down. Okay, whoever, it doesn't matter. Even if there were 2 people, there are 12 of you in the class. I emphasized to you how important this was, but you guys just don't seem to care. So therefore, if you are deciding that you're not going to do the work, then I'm just going to decide to give you the grade you deserve, which is a 0. I warned you this yesterday. I warned you about it on Wednesday. And yet you just don't seem to, it doesn't seem to make a difference for you. So this is the problem. You can't say, well, I did this, I did. No, you didn't do it. That's the problem. Okay, you guys know that there are many ways to get the information to me. And to send it to me at, you know, whatever, first of all, if you're gonna send it at nighttime on the night before, I told you guys I probably will not see it. I had a meeting last night I had to go to. All right, for whatever reason. Look, the problem isn't, oh, I tried to send it to you, but it didn't go through, or I sent it to you, Mr. Jones, and you couldn't read it. The problem is you guys didn't send it to me last week when you were supposed to. That's the problem. The problem is you guys aren't keeping up with your work each day. That's the problem. Not Mr. Jones didn't see it, or Mr. Jones didn't get it, or you didn't give it back. No, when I get them, I try to get them back to you as quickly as I can. Okay, you guys are ones that are responsible for your work. Okay, now I know what I have. I know what I have pictures for. David, maybe you were one of them too. I don't know. Is that why you were raising your hand? You have one, you said? that I sent a picture of? No, that was the original notes, David. I told you to take more notes on it. That was the ones, are you talking about the second one? Hold on. I see somebody sent some stuff in Skype this morning. I don't know who that is. Who's Deborah Apaya?
Hmm?
Deborah Apaya, it says. I don't know who she is. I'm blocking her, so. Yeah, so Yuri, when did you send it to me? Yuri? Yuri,
Yeah,
when did you send it to me?
I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday.
No, you sent it to me this morning. The notes just now. I just got them. You didn't send it to me Wednesday or Thursday. You sent your look, sir. Look, 8:01 p.m. You sent the test. Then you said something about ladder is in football when you could throw the ballot backwards to your.
That's not me. It was Juliana.
Well, then this one was sent at 10:52 last night. Was when that was sent. I'm not sure. Your pictures are doing something weird. See this? That's when I am receiving them on that. But I mean, once I click on it, I can see it up close. That was your spelling pretest that you sent me yesterday.
That's not mine.
What's that?
That's not mine.
Oh, well, then your sister's. This one was sent at 10 something last night, Yuri. How am I going to see it when I'm at bed already?
I didn't send anything at 10:52.
So you're saying this isn't yours? It has your name on it? Okay, maybe it was at 8 o'clock then. But still, 8 o'clock in the evening. I go to bed by 9. And I work all day during the day. I'm not gonna be grading things. Why did you wait until then to get it done and to send it to me? And it's not just you, Yuri. At least you did that part. But you guys don't understand. You can't just send it whenever. It's due. It was assigned. It's due by a certain time. I explained that to you several times this week, and I am not being unreasonable about this at all. Am I? Am I? Do you think I'm being, how many of you think I'm being unreasonable about it? I mean, tell me. If you think I'm being unreasonable, tell me. Because it's not like this was assigned just yesterday. I gave it to you. It was assigned on Monday. Today is Friday. That's 4 days later. So what am I supposed to do then, Yuri? It's 4 days late. It's not like I didn't tell you guys every single day we had language. I kept telling you guys. Shall we go into the other assignments in language that I'm not getting from you? Shall we go into all the math lessons last week? Once I started having you guys actually turn them in, the ones that are obvious that are doing it did turn theirs in. The ones that weren't doing it obviously didn't turn them in. So there were obviously some people who weren't doing their lessons, who had to, when it was required that they turn them in, were either lying to me before or just suddenly got lazy when they had to turn them in. Well, I don't know why that would make a difference, except that I wasn't checking them each day. But still, it's kind of a silly thing that you guys don't want to do your responsibilities, and then you still want to get credit for doing the work. So, I should be getting your work each day when you're doing something that you have to give to me, like a science quiz, and there are a few people that do it, and that's it. That's it. Just a few people that actually do it. Then there are some people who will text me things at 8 or 9 o'clock at night and then wondering why I'm not answering them right away. And I explained to you that I have things to do in my own personal life as well. I am not here. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I get here to work about 8 o'clock, sometimes a little earlier, and I work all day long doing your grading, doing classes with you guys, and all of that stuff I do with you. Okay? I do that with you, and then when I do that with you, then I'm doing that and grading, and then usually I'm here till about 4, 5, 6 o'clock at night doing work for school all day. Then some of you are like, Mr. Jones, you didn't give it back to me because I sent it last night. No, you don't understand. I don't just, that's not my, I'm not just constantly just being a teacher all day long from the time I wake up till the time I go to bed. And so when I ask you guys to send me things, it's for a purpose. It's for a reason so that I can get that stuff back to you. But then some of you, it's like over the weekend, you're doing stuff. On Sunday night, you're doing stuff. As if you guys have no time now in your life. And this is your job. This is your responsibility to get your work done. There's no reason most all of you can't get your work done each day, especially for the two that I'm expecting you to get them done for, math and language. And we went over it together. I gave each of you 2 notes for each section, and still there are people like Elijah right now who are playing, who really aren't focusing on what we're talking about, and who also hasn't done his notes. I haven't seen them anyway. Okay, so let's make sure that we're getting, I don't know what else to do, guys. What am I supposed to do? You give me a suggestion. How should I resolve this? Just give you all hundreds for it? Somebody give me some ideas, because obviously it's not working for you guys. So what should I do? Speak up. Somebody have any ideas? You know, it's not fair for those people that keep doing their work, Nathan and Alina and generally David, keep doing their work, and Elizabeth too. They're always giving me their stuff, but they're the only ones. That's 1/3 of the class. Should I just fail the rest of you guys so you can go back to 5th grade next year and do this all over again? No answers. Nobody say anything. How come? So the 4 of you that are getting it done, what should I do? What do you think? What do you think, Nathan?
Give them the grades they deserve.
Give them the grades they deserve, so 0s basically for most of them?
Yeah.
What do you think, Yuri? You just gave yours this morning, so what do you think? Should I give you a 0 since it was late? Or since you gave it last night, I guess, I'm sorry. But still, I haven't had a chance to even see it this morning yet. So what do you think, Yuri? Do you have any thought? What do you think about Nathan's idea about giving you the grade you deserve? You don't have a thought on that? What do you think, David? Oh, go ahead, Yuri.
What?
Go ahead. What do you think?
4.
Oh, you're really not listening. Okay, David, what do you think? Since you're one of the other ones that is doing the work.
If they don't do something that day, they have 1 more day, and if they don't, they get an automatic 0.
That's the way it is in junior senior high. What do you think, Alina? Do you have any thoughts? You don't want to get involved in this at all? What do you have a thought, Ella?
Maybe like give them today, like during the daytime, so that they can turn it in, and then if not, then give them the grade they deserve.
So Ella, you were in class yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that exactly what I said yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said yesterday. So what do I just keep doing that every day?
No.
So what should I do then? Because I mean, what you're suggesting is exactly what I did yesterday. Did you give me yours?
My what? The
Did
outline?
Did you give me your notes and outline? I can't remember.
My outline, I just found it this morning, so like I didn't know if I could send it to you or not. I have it right in front of me right now.
When you say you didn't know, what do you mean? You didn't know what?
Like I didn't know like if I can send it.
But you knew that you needed to send it, right?
Yeah, because I didn't know if it was like too late.
Well, yeah. So what you're saying is that you should get a 0 too, or you're saying give you another day?
I don't know, maybe another day.
But I mean, I've already done that. This is the thing. And you know what? If I gave you the whole weekend, Ella, not just you, if I give the whole class the whole weekend, guarantee you, I'm still going to have about 3 or 4 people that won't turn it in. Even the notes that we've gone over together with.
Then
So
they should
how come you
just
haven't done yours?
Mm.
How come you haven't done yours yet?
I didn't know we had to do notes. I did the outline.
Ma'am, you know you had to do notes because that was the assignment, and every day I've been telling you that. You got to figure something else out because you keep saying that you don't know things, but I tell them to you. Do you write them down, Giselle?
No.
How many times have I told you to write them down? And everybody, I've told you to write things down. It's getting very difficult and frustrating because I can only make you guys do so much. My only option is to get you guys to just start giving you zeros when you don't have things done. That's the only thing I can do. It's not like every single one of you have the ability to either text your friends pictures, to send pictures to other places, and yet some of you, for some reason, have the most impossible duty of sending your work to me. And you say you have some kind of a glitch or something happen, and I believe you, but then I don't know what to believe anymore because it's so constant. But yet somehow you guys have no problem sitting there and talking to each other and sending notes to each other on Zoom or on other formats, and you play Fortnite with each other for hours and hours and hours, and yet somehow you can't get your work done. So Ellie, you see the frustration on my part?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's a lame excuse is what it is. And excuses, you know what lame means? Lame means it can't walk, something can't walk, or someone can't walk, and that's what an excuse is. These excuses are lame. They don't walk, they don't work. They're not good excuses. We've been doing this long enough now, and I can understand the first couple of weeks where people were having difficulty because they didn't know how to do the things, and we were having difficulty with Skype, and we had to go to Zoom and all those things. But the rest, now you guys you're just being lazy. Just completely. You guys have got to, and I've emphasized this every single day. You've got to make yourself a schedule, and you got to stick to it. Those that are doing that are getting their work done. Those that aren't getting their work done. Some people were doing it, now they're not doing it anymore. So, all right. So I'll have to go back and look at that, David. I don't remember receiving that from you. Well, David, yeah, you gave it to me Wednesday before I gave you back your notes. And I sent back the notes yesterday, and it told you needed a lot more notes than you have on there. You can't do an outline until you have your notes done. You did an outline, but I haven't looked at it yet because you didn't have your notes done yet. And so you're supposed to redo your notes first. So that's the reason why. All right. So I'm going to take Ella's suggestion, but we're still going to have another assignment as well. So go ahead and open up your book. So you guys this is your last chance. I need the notes. Send them to me before you do your outline. Send me the notes. I will put it, whether it's good or not. I know, Schlock, you already had your notes are good. All right, I know that. Schlock, why are you raising your hand? Go ahead and put your microphone on and tell me.
I have my outline right here.
Okay, have you sent it to me yet?
No, I'll send it after class.
That's fine. Yeah, I just said you guys have until Monday. Okay, so if you haven't done your notes, everybody listen, you have to do your notes and send them to me first. I need to see that you have enough notes to make an outline. Okay, so that's the first step. So make sure you do that. Okay, Alina.
Do you have my notes?
I don't remember if I have them or not. Did you give them? Didn't I say your name is one of them?
I don't remember.
I don't see it, Alina. Did you send them to me already, you said?
I don't know.
Ella, had you already sent me your notes? Yeah, you did. Okay, so you're good as far as your outline. So I'll look and see, Alina, but let me double check here. In fact, I'm pretty sure I had checked already, and I don't think I remember seeing them, but I'll look again. It'll be through your mom's phone, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I hadn't received anything from your mom in a while. Oh, wait, maybe let me double check. Yeah, I haven't received anything from your mom's phone in forever. I'm going back to Tuesday. I'm back to last Friday. The last time your mom sent me anything was on May 6th. So no, I haven't gotten it yet, obviously, because I hadn't even signed it by that time. So you might want to talk to your mom. If you've been giving her stuff to send to me, you might want to talk to her about it. Because she hasn't sent me anything. Who raised their, I see a couple people raise their hands. Did you need to ask me questions anymore or no? I see somebody else left. Who left?
Elijah.
Elijah, okay. And then see another participant raised their hand. Who was that raised their hand? So Angelica, did you have a question? Your microphone.
No.
Oh, okay, because it says you raised your hand. How about you, Giselle? Do you have a question? Okay. It says you raised your hand, so that's why I was asking. All right, that's all I see right now. Okay. Maybe you're accidentally hitting it. All right, so then we'll go ahead and do a new section here. Go over to page number 244. All right, so 244, you have had this year a review and teaching on every part of speech that there is in the English language, all 8 parts of speech. Verb, noun, pronoun, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. And you can see them there. You know their jobs. Well, you should know their jobs by now at least. And you have the definition of what each one is. Okay? And so it says, to learn to use language well, we must start with the basic element of language, words. The English language has over 600,000 words. In the next 2 weeks, we'll learn 300,000 of them. No, I'm just joking. That's not true. How can we learn them all or all of them? How can we use all of them? How can we know which ones are best? Well, obviously, nobody uses all of them except somebody maybe who likes the dictionary or something like that. But if you use some words, most people wouldn't even know what they were. And some of them, because they're just words that you've never heard before. But look at the next page, 245. I'm not going to review those 8 parts of speech because you guys should be familiar enough with them. But it says, using the best words, because there are so many words to choose from in our language, good writers and speakers work hard to find the clearest and most interesting words to use. Readers and listeners appreciate words that help them to understand and see things. By the way, see things in your mind. One time, Mrs. Jones was trying to help a student. And she asked that student, do you know what it means to see it in your imagination? And they're like, no, I don't understand what that means. I don't see, how can you see something in your imagination? Because in their mind, you can only see it with their eyes. And then they told the person, they said, think about your grandmother's house. You've been to your grandmother's house, right? Yes. Okay, imagine that you're walking through the door and you look and you see the couch in the living room. And then he said, oh, I can see it, I can see it. And then he understood what that meant, okay? So that's what we're talking about here. You're seeing things by using words to describe them in a way that makes it so that you understand what that person's going through. If I said, the lights went out and the boy was scared, you might get a little bit of an idea. But if I said the lights went out and there was a creaking sound and a low voice started speaking, it was a voice that sounded far off at first, but then it was getting closer and closer. And then the boy shivered. That gives you a little bit better sense of what is happening there, right? You know that it's getting tense and it's increasing. And so words help you to do that. And so here we're talking about, first of all, we're going to be talking about synonyms. But it says there, all the following words mean almost exactly the same thing, but which word would help the reader to see a clear, exact picture in his mind's eye? And it says see, watch, stare, and look. Which one of those has a more specific meaning to it? Which one do you think? What do you think, Yuri? Of those 4 words, you are paying attention to what we're doing, right? Or are you just kind of blowing it off? You see, you're not. Are your microphone's off?
I didn't hear what page we were on.
You know what? This is ridiculous, Yuri. Baloney. You can hear me perfectly clearly. You're just not paying attention. All right, Elizabeth, what do you think? Which one of those 4 words do you think actually has the correct meaning? Or has a more specific meaning? We're on 245, Yuri. A long time ago, I said those pages, and if you didn't know where we were, you should have said something.
Stare?
What'd you say?
Stare?
Yeah, stare, because stare, you get that understanding like I'm doing to Yuri right now. Okay? You get an understanding that staring it is looking, yes, it is seeing, and it is watching, but it's not exactly the same thing. Okay? It has a more unique meaning to it. It means you're actually looking at something without taking your eyes off of it. Right, Giselle? Okay. All right, so you get the idea. And that's what we're trying to do, is figure out how we can use words that would have a more specific meaning. So it says although all of the words mean to see, the word stare shows the most specific action. These 4 words are synonyms. We know what synonyms are, words that mean the same thing. So synonyms are words that have the same or nearly the same meaning. So mistake and error are both synonyms. Grateful and thankful are both synonyms. Find and discover are both synonyms. So in this next section here, it says, when there are several words that mean about the same thing, you should choose the word for your writing that is the most specific. Circle the synonym in each group which is the most specific and exact. All right, so let's go ahead and start. Tejas, do number 1. Giselle, do number 2. Yuri, number 3. Elizabeth, number 4. Alina, number 5. Schlock, number 6. David, number 7. Nathan, 8. Ella, 9. And Angelica, 10 on that think part. So pick which one is the most specific word there. All right. So Tejas, are you ready? Got to turn your microphone on. Go ahead.
Evergreen?
Okay. No, it wouldn't be evergreen. Evergreen covers a whole bunch of different types of trees. So an evergreen is just a tree that doesn't change, or the leaves doesn't lose its leaves during the summer. During the winter time. So what would be more specific than that?
A pine?
Yeah, a pine is a type of evergreen. So that would be more specific. Okay, Giselle, turn your microphone on and tell me yours.
The fruit.
So a pineapple is not more specific than a fruit. Doesn't a fruit cover a whole bunch of different types of things? But a pineapple is only one type. So you're looking for a more specific one. You're looking for the most specific. Okay, Yuri, what about you? For number 3. Microphone. So Yuri, you gonna answer or no?
You still haven't told me where we were.
I did tell you where we were. I did say it, even after. Man, Yuri, come on.
You just went on to the next person.
No, I did not. Yuri, I said we are on page 245. I had said that. Everybody heard me say it, Yuri. Not only mention that, at the very beginning when we first went over there, I told you where to go. Not once did you raise your hand at that time to ask me, and then when you told me I don't know where we are, then I said, Yuri, you're not paying attention. You're sitting there drinking your drink, and you're doing everything else, but you weren't listening to where we were. Then I said in the middle of it, I said, we are on page 245, Yuri. How many of you remember me saying that in the middle of what we were saying? You see all those people? They're hearing me. Okay, we're on number 3 on think on page 245. So what do you think is the most specific word?
Walk.
That's more specific than limp. Limp would be the most specific because that's more a type of walking or a type of movement. All right, Nathan, microphone and number 4. squeak would be the best one there, because noise and a sound, that could be anything, but a squeak is a particular type of sound. Hey, Alina, go ahead, number 5.
Enormous.
Yeah, enormous, because something that's big and large, but enormous gives you an idea that it's really, really large, okay? Kind of like my head right now, right? All right, go ahead, Schlock. Your microphone, Schlock.
Polite.
Yeah, polite would be more specific because it's talking about a particular type of niceness or being good. All right, David, go ahead and turn your microphone on and tell me number 7.
Grandmother.
Yeah, grandmother, because family member could be anybody, and relative could be anybody. All right, Elizabeth, go ahead on number 8.
Writer.
Couldn't hear you.
Laura Ingalls Wilder.
Yeah, Laura Ingalls Wilder, and she is a writer and author, could be anybody, but she is a specific one. All right, Ella, turn yours on and go ahead and give me number 9.
Beef.
So you think beef is more specific than T-bone steak?
Oh, T-bone steak.
Yeah, T-bone steak would be more specific because that's a particular type of beef or meat. All right, and then the last one, Angelica, go ahead.
Flower.
So you think flower is more specific than a lilac?
Lilac.
Yeah, lilac would be because it's a particular type of flower, right? You got to pick the one that's more specific. So look at the next page, page 246, and it says synonyms, another choice. So the more words that you know, the better you will be able to explain what you mean or what you see. Your writing will have variety because you will not have to use the same words all of the time. Your writing will be clearer and more informative because you will know the best words to use. If you guys are reading a book, do you remember the thing I read to you from E.B. White about when we were reading about from Charlotte's Web, that little section about the barn? You guys remember that? Okay. So when I was reading that section about the barn, the much more interesting one was definitely the one that talked about all the little details of the smells, the way things looked, how things felt. Those were definitely much more interesting. When you guys are speaking, guess what? The more detail you give in a story, the more interesting you are. The less detail you give, the more boring you are. All right? So you want to make sure that you are learning how to speak better. Now, obviously, you're learning. So you're going to get to the point where maybe you're not where you could be or will be at one time in the future, but that's why we're learning right now. So they give you on Write A, it says check the size of your vocabulary by seeing how many synonyms you can think of for the following verbs. For run, talk, and clean. Perhaps you'll learn some new words as members of your class share their list. So let's go through this. What different words for run can you guys come up with? So instead of run, what can you get? Okay, Giselle, microphone, go ahead.
Fast.
Sprint.
What's that?
Walk.
That's not running, man. Walking is not running. Okay, Nathan?
Gallop.
Gallop would be one. Okay, I guess somebody can gallop, although usually you're talking about horses, but since a horse can run, we can do that. All right. What else? Okay, David?
Skip.
Skip? I'm not sure skip is a form of running. Go ahead, Giselle.
Jog.
Jog would be, okay, so you could jog. All right, what else? Come on, Schlock, let's think. Stop playing with your fingers, let's think. Come on, guys, you probably have used words, you just don't even realize that you've used them. Think through, okay? Schlock, go ahead. Microphone.
Naruto running.
What's that?
Naruto running.
Are you serious?
You can't use the word running. It's one word. You got one word that means running. All right? Yuri, what you got? Anybody? Come on. Guys, you have to, there are more words for here for running. Come on. Nathan?
Sprint.
Sprint. That would be a good one. Okay. Pages, what about you? You got something? David, you got something? Ella? Angelica, come on. Go ahead.
Move.
What'd you say, Ella?
Moving.
Moving? Moving doesn't have to be running, though. Moving's not really more specific than run.
I don't know.
I know. I don't mind you. I appreciate you trying. Go ahead, Angelica.
Walking.
How is walking running?
Jogging.
Well, we already said jog. Okay, go ahead, Nathan.
Dash.
Dash, you said?
Like dashing.
Dash is good. All right, stalk.
Sprinting.
We already said sprint. Go ahead, Angelica.
Skipping.
Skipping's not really running. Go ahead, Tejas. But at least you're thinking in the right direction. Go ahead. Microphone, Tejas.
Is using Michael's phone?
Zoom.
Zooming. I guess you could do that. Yeah, Zoom would be. Zoom about. That's a good one. All right. Any others?
Oh.
Hey, how about they have dart? You can dart about, scurry about, scamper about, flee, bolt, scoot, rush. All of those would be good words. So, yes. David.
Charge.
Charge, that would be a good one. Good. Okay. Any others? Any of these trigger any other thoughts on this? Okay. How about talk now? Instead of talk, what do we have? Okay, go ahead, Giselle.
Whispering.
Okay, whisper would be a good one. What else? Okay, Nathan?
Jabbering.
Jabber, okay. You have one, Yuri? Microphone if you do. Microphone. I couldn't hear it. Say it again. I couldn't hear you.
What was the first one?
The first one that Giselle said, or whoever it was that said, I don't know. What was that first one?
Jabbering.
No, that was yours, Nathan. What was yours,
Oh.
Giselle?
Whispering.
Whisper, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Gibbering.
So do you have one, Yuri? What do you have?
Scream.
Scream, okay. I don't know if that's necessarily a form of talking, but Nathan?
Chat.
Chat, okay. There's another one, chatting. That gives you the understanding that you're more talking casually, okay, David?
Speak.
Speak? Yeah, I'm not sure that's more specific. That's another way of saying it, I guess. We're thinking of things that would give us a more specific method or a more specific picture. Okay, go ahead, Alina.
Shout.
I can hear you. Say it again.
Shout.
Shout. Yeah, that's more of a yelling type of thing. I'm thinking more of just talking. Go ahead, Schlock.
I forgot what it
Okay, Kaden.
Squeaking.
What did you say? Squeaking?
Like squeak talking. I don't know.
I couldn't understand what you said. What did you say?
I said squeak talking, like when you squeak and talk. I don't know.
Squeak talking. I haven't really heard of that one. Angelica, go ahead.
Chatting.
Chatting. Somebody did say that already, but that's a good one. Chatting. Okay. What about? Go ahead, Yuri. Go ahead. Since you have your hand up, go ahead.
Never mind. Someone already said it.
Nathan, go ahead.
Clamor.
Clamor. Okay, that's more of a talking to try to get attention, to try to get somebody to listen to you. All right, go ahead. Schlock, go ahead. You have another one.
Yelling.
Yelling is more yelling. We're talking about talking. Ella, go ahead.
Speak, chat, chatter.
Okay, chat and
Babble.
chatter we've already said. But what was that last one you just said?
Babble.
Babble. Okay, that's a good one. That's a very good one. Babbling. All right. Go ahead, David.
Gossip.
Gossip is a good one. There you go. That's a specific type of talking. That's what we're trying to do is get more specific in it. And Giselle,
What?
I don't know if it's kind of talking.
then why'd you raise your hand? Okay, Nathan, go ahead.
Lecture.
Couldn't hear you.
Lecturing.
Try it one more time. It keeps cutting off.
Lecture.
Lecturing, that's good. That's what I did before. Lecture. Plus just a type of teaching it is. It's a type of speaking. Okay, go ahead, Giselle.
Murmuring.
Murmuring, very good. That's a good one. You guys know more than you think you do. You just have to be prodded a little bit. Go ahead, Alina. Okay, say that one more time.
Argue.
Argue, that could be, yeah. Arguing is a type of talking. They also have mentioning. You know, if you just happen to mention something, or if you nag somebody. Okay. You guys have been nagged before, right?
Mm-hmm.
At school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sharing, telling, informing. Ooh, that's a good one. Giselle, do you have your hand up?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell.
Laughing?
Did you say slapping?
No. Laughing.
Laughing? I don't know if laughing's a type of talking though. So go ahead, Nathan.
Wait. What I was gonna say? I don't know.
Okay. They also have confess is another form of talking. That would mean you're saying something about wrong. Go ahead.
Declaring.
One more time.
Declaring.
Declaring. Okay, that's one way because you're kind of announcing things. All right, good, good. How about clean? This one should be one that you guys know plenty of words. Giselle?
Chores.
That's not a verb. That's a thing. You need a verb that means the more specific thing of cleaning. Go ahead, Yuri, go ahead. Schlock, leave your fingers alone.
White.
Ella, can you mute yourself real quick? There's a constant background noise there.
Yeah.
I got you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Yuri. You keep getting
Wipe.
Wipe, that's a good one. Okay, wipe. Okay, David, go ahead.
Wash.
Wash, good. Okay, Alina? He took yours? Can't believe you do that, David. You took her word. Go ahead, Nathan.
Sweep.
Sweep, there you go. Okay. Giselle?
What was it?
I don't know. You're supposed to tell me.
Like wash.
Oh, I thought you said lick. No, we already said wash. Go ahead, Alina.
Mop.
Mop. You could say lick would be like cleaning. Like for instance, if you licked your bowl clean, you know, that's a type of cleaning your bowl because it was so delicious you wanted to lick your bowl or lick your plate. Okay, Nathan?
Swiffer. Like
What's that?
Swiffer.
Swiffering, I guess they use that as a verb. That's not necessarily a verb you normally hear. What are you doing with your lamp, Giselle? You trying to make yourself grow taller? Get as much light as you can? Is it one of those grow lights? Okay. Go. What do we have, Giselle? You have another word?
Squeeze.
Please?
No, squeeze. Like getting water out.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure that's necessarily a word for clean, but how about scrub? Scrub is one.
Oh.
Go ahead, Nathan.
Vacuum.
Vacuum, there you go. That's usually used as a verb. Rinse is another one. Shine or wax. Go ahead, Giselle.
Mop.
Okay, mop would be a good one. Yeah, you can mop things. All right. Go ahead, Tate. Shock, I mean.
Laundry.
Laundry. How do you laundry something? I guess launder would be, the word launder would be L-A-U-N-D-E-R. To launder something would be to clean it. And that you know you're talking about cleaning clothes then when you say launder, okay? Go ahead. You have another one, Giselle?
Sweep.
Sweep, somebody already said. Scour. Buff. How about this one that you guys should be doing every day? Bathe. You know, if you bathe, you are cleaning yourself. I hope you are. Scour. Maybe that's what you do when you bathe. Take a Brillo pad, you know, one of those pads that you use to clean stuff off the pan that's stuck on there, and then use it for your body, clean off all the dirt, right? Disinfect is another one. That's one that's very common today. The way we clean is we disinfect, or we use wipes, and then tidy is another one. All right, look at the bottom. Think back. Remember, it says variety is interesting and creative. Use a variety of informative, specific words in your reports and letters and stories. All right, that's what we went through this exercise for, to give you an understanding that you actually know more words than you realize. You just don't practice using them. And when you don't use them in your speech, or in your writing. And since you don't write very often, you probably don't use it as often, but in your speech, get used to using words that are more specific so that you can sound more mature, so that you can learn more things about different words and everything. So that would be a help to you. On the bottom, you have remember B to do. All right, and then that was the only assignment that you have this time. Plus, you guys know the rest of them, okay? So who else said they turned in? Well, you know, Alina, you didn't because you know your mom hadn't said anything since 6, but you may have to get her to do that. But is anybody else did send something that you're thinking I just didn't get for some reason? Okay, Nathan, you
No, cut off for a second. What was the assignment again? Because
just the bottom of that that page 246 where the remember is at the bottom.
remember B.
Yeah, remember B. And then for anybody who hasn't done their notes first and then hasn't done their outline. Look, guys, don't wait till Sunday to send them to me. Okay? Don't wait till then because you probably won't get an answer back if you send them to me Sunday. You guys get time off all the time, every day. Nathan, do you do any work over the weekend usually?
Maybe 1 or 2 subjects sometimes, but.
And so, generally, you pretty much have time off, don't you?
Yeah.
Mr. Jones.
You guys know why that is? Because Nathan does his work every day. Now, Nathan also has a mom who makes him do his work every day. And that's true, right, Nathan? But you still got used to the schedule and you kind of do most of it on your own, don't you? Your mom just has to kind of check up on you, doesn't she? You can easily fall back into bad habits, I know.
Mr. Jones.
Yes, Tejas, what?
What happened to Sophia?
Sophia and Mrs. Grishchenko decided to take her girls out of school since she had them at home. She was just going to go ahead and teach them herself.
Oh.
So that's what she decided to do. Although she's using the same books and the same workbooks, and she's also using our videos that we're doing. My thought is technically she shouldn't be doing it, but that's okay. I don't mind if she uses my videos, but she's not allowed to participate in class because she's not a part of the class and they're not paying the tuition. So, yes, Giselle.
How about Daliana?
Oh, Daliana, they had to withdraw because they couldn't afford because her mom had not. Well, I don't know if it was that or because I think that she had to take Daliana with her to work. And so Daliana wasn't able to get the work done. And so she just decided to withdraw because of that. So I'm not sure if it was also that maybe she didn't have as much work and so they couldn't afford it. I'm not sure what all the details were, but those were the 3 that are gone now. Yeah. Nathan?
Oh, wait, did my mom tell you that I was doing homeschool next year?
Yeah, she did. We're still hoping that will change. And I know if something happens with your dad's job and allows her to, then that would change. But yeah, I understand. Yeah. No, I know that would be sad, but we do have some new students already scheduled for planned to come in next year, and in several of the grades. So, but you know, maybe we'll have a really, really big 5th grade and a really small 6th grade next year. Yes, Angelica.
Are they coming in our class?
I can't remember. I don't have the list with me. I think there was one for either 5th or the upcoming 5th or 6th grade. And I can't remember who it was, but I was just surprised we had anybody but a lot of people, they don't want what the public schools are going to be teaching next year. The stuff they're teaching all the way down to kindergarten about the homosexuality and that type of thing. So yes, David.
Are they only going to teach it in like the Pacific area, or are they going to like teach it in Kentucky?
No, Kentucky's probably you're going to find is a little bit more conservative, a lot more conservative than it is out here in Washington State. Although that doesn't mean that the school systems won't teach certain things that they may be teaching certain things there. So you have to kind of check into the school system to see. Definitely the Christian schools wouldn't be, I would imagine, would not be teaching that stuff, just like ours wouldn't be. Any other questions? Mia's sad. Are you sad still? Somewhat? Well, let's make yourself not sad by getting your work done, okay? Because you know, look guys, you're at the threshold right here. If you have missing assignments, you had better get on it because you don't have very much time left. Friday, June 5th, all of your work is supposed to be turned in to the school. That's it. There is no late after that. You can't do that next Monday. Over that weekend, you got to get it to me by that Friday. And your mom and dad are going to bring, whoever it is that brings your stuff, supposed to bring it that Friday morning. So, yes, Angelica.
When does school end?
June 5th.
Oh.
Wait,
That's why that's the last day.
is there school on that day or what?
Well, no, we may have some class there. I think Pastor Fricks is talking about doing an award ceremony over Zoom or something like that. That each of the teachers either do individually or we do it as a group. We're not sure yet, but yeah, that is plan, and that is the plan to happen. So, all right, Yuri, microphone.
Did the K4 and K5 already end?
Are they what?
Or is the K4 and K5 already over?
No,
No.
I don't think so. I think they're still doing classes.
No, they're not.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, for any of you that if you're interested in a yearbook, Pastor Fricks sent out a text, but you've got to order by Monday. You got to let Pastor Fricks know. You don't have to have the money necessarily, but you do have to let him know you're ordering. Otherwise, you may not get one because we're only ordering what people say that they're going to buy. Okay, so if you are interested in a yearbook, you've got to do it by Monday. You can send it to him between now and Monday, but we need the number because that's how many I'm ordering. And that's it. So, all right. So if you're interested in that, you want to make sure that you do that. All right. Any thoughts, questions, rude remarks? Okay. All right. So all of you, like Schlock, I know you have a lot of work to make up. Ella, I know you have a lot of work to make up. And do you have a question, Ella? I see your hand up.
No.
Oh, it says lower hand, so I'll lower your hand. There you go. All right, go ahead, Angelica.
I forgot what I was about to say.
Oh. You have a question, Schlock? Microphone.
I'm already done with my missing assignments. I just need to do like an art project. That's it.
That's it? Well, there's some here. Oh no, that I sent that back to you, the science thing already. You already did it. So there was somebody that sent back their science thing, but I think that was Katie, so I'm not sure. It wasn't you guys. All right, you have a question, David? I can't hear you. Yeah, I couldn't hear you still, but.
Going to ask if I could leave.
Yes, of course you can leave. Yes, you guys can leave if you're done. And I will leave the meeting.